there were any points in your career where maybe that was not such a good thing, or it was viewed as not a good thing, and how you overcame that?
Okay, I'm going to start. I know you said Michelle, but I work in the government. I work in politics, and you start at an uphill battle being a female in politics, and that's just the way it is, because it's such a male-dominated industry, if you want to call it an industry. So you're always conscious of the fact that you have to be more articulate. You have to work harder. You have to know what you're talking about when you walk into the room and you're the only woman and you're standing there with a United States senator or a governor or a mayor or a city council person. You have to make sure that you're on top of your game. I also think that you have to have a little bit of confidence, and you don't want to downplay who you are as a woman, but you definitely need to be cognizant of the folks that are in the room around you. So I would definitely say, I know for me personally, walking into a lot of rooms when you are not just the only woman, but a lot of times for me, the only African American woman, you have to walk in there and command their respect and have a commanding presence and be able to say, yes, you can call me Tish because I told you can call me Tish, not because I'm just a little Tish that's going to sit in the corner. And I think you have to make sure that you do that and you build that confidence. It's not easy because I used to be little Tish that sat in the corner for many, many years, but now you understand your worth. So when you walk into that room, you command it.
That's all.
I think you need to believe in your value. I think there's a new book out there about knowing your value. And I think we need to be very confident about our value. And sometimes you need to help others to see that value and not judge. Some people make some statement or maybe behave in a particular way that you need to be very professional and try to allow that person to see that. And at the beginning, they may not see it. And I think that's going to be very important. And also believe in yourself and teach people around you. Because healthcare is still very male-dominated. Even though our new CEO is a woman, but normally when I walk into the majority of our meetings with chairs and physicians, the majority will be men. So the expectation sometimes is that in my role I should be a man too. But I don't look like a man, I don't want to look like one. But it's about the knowledge you bring and the differences that you can bring to the table that really counts.
I think throughout the years, and I'm sure other women unfortunately have faced this, particularly when I was starting Avenues for Homeless Youth, I was horrified because I would hear if we got a contract or we got a bill passed, because we didn't call it lobbying, we called it community education. But then you would hear these rumors, well, who does she know, or who did she fill in the blanks? And that is so frustrating. But I'm also going to say, throughout the years, some of the best allies that I've had personally and professionally have been men. And I think men are a very important part of advancing the rights of women. I'm a card-carrying, Gloria Steinem feminist and proud of it, but I've had men throughout my life who are fathers, mentors, uncles, brothers, and they have looked out for me every step of the way. So I would also say to the men in the room, there's a lot of really great guys, and we need you too, and look out for your sisters and your daughters and your wives.
Even if we say YMCA instead of
Actually, Michael and I were saying this, we were chatting earlier, we just met here, and Michael has 3 daughters. And so, to Michelle's point about, the sisters and daughters and wives and everything, I mean, we need, men to embrace our, career pathing as well. And as Michael was saying earlier, because he's got 3 daughters, that, I think he's setting a great example for his daughters already. But many people, particularly women in this room, may have read Sheryl Sandberg's book, Lean In. And I wasn't a fan of all of it, but it was a good read, and a lot of she was attributed with the whole conversation around being at the table, sitting at the table, and making sure that when you walk into a room, if it is a big conference room or whatever it is, that you are taking a position of assertiveness and putting yourself in a place where you can contribute, where your voice will be heard physically. Put your sit at a place where your voice will be heard. Don't sit in the back of the room. Take a position front and center, so that people who need to hear your voice, who will learn who you are and how you're contributing to the organization and to the community at large.